bad thing or quote it. They also did a good thing, but nobody speak out that about those issues. Or Japanese people need to study. I wrote a book, okay, and my wife said, okay, she just discussed about. She's half Korean, but she just had experience for discriminated by Japanese people, and last night she's talking about those issues. Okay, I'll give you my book. Just read it. And you can understand Japanese bad characters, good characters, about history in the past. 1910, Chinese, Korean Independence Day, March 4th, and Japanese the police people killed many people at that time. But the Japanese people, they don't study it, but Korean people know that. But Korean people exaggerated. Japanese people stopped teaching those kind of issues, but share the information. English is they're telling the truth. I collected all English material. But nobody studied that. Forever they never solved the problem. This is my responsibility for Japanese side, also overseas side. We need to bridging kind of who are they. Japanese, do you know Japanese who are they? Even if you have wife for Japanese, but you don't know who are they. Okay, so this is I'm going to, because European people, they don't need to study who Japanese are. Don't need to study. Okay, they are not interested in, but they listen, and I'm going to explain what kind of thing. This is my responsibility. That's the reason I'm going to start Unno News Network from this April. That's the reason why I talk with you like this. But you are in the middle of Japan and Europe, right? And not so much closer to European people. European people is like, for example, pick up German, pick up French, never listen to me, right? Do you know why? Arrogant. Right? So this is what that's the reason I just talk with you. That ZARA cases you are talking about. I understand European people, of course, we don't buy ZARA product. Oh man, no, that's human rights, neglect human rights. But I know the South Asia, I know the Africa, I know the Hasina, I know and Bangladesh people, and I know the level of life, and I know they are poor. I know the more than 50% of people is under the poverty line, and many people cannot survive. They lots of problems they have. So if you're going to start some kind of household prostitute house, and I can easily to invite them 100 young children. This is that country, okay, and so we should know that kind of situation. And any other country we're going to help? No, none of those. And Hasina she is accepted 1 million people from Myanmar. Unbelievable. They are not food. They are no medicine. They no water. How come 1 million coming to the Bangladesh from Myanmar? And Myanmar government, Aung San Suu Kyi, she's crazy. Whatever she just positioned in the Myanmar, it's shame. Okay, she goes kick out 1 million Myanmar population to Bangladesh. She doesn't know Bangladesh is so poor.
She knows.
She knows, but she don't do that. But so crazy. So that Japanese government more crazy. Never accept any refugees people from Myanmar. No accept But also Japanese is very strange people. But we want to change. Okay, and currently I don't respect Japanese people outside Japan. They are lots of shameful people. But if you're going to change their well, they studied before, okay. 200 years ago, they studied before, kind of, studying wisdom, bring it back. And this is going to be the very good people. It's fundamental they have. So we can, that's the reason I prepared 4,000 books. I couldn't sell it, but anyway, 4,000 books, this is, I can deliver for the next 100 years. No change, right? So very important. We need to re-educate Japanese people in future. So this is my responsibility, right? So like a ZARA case is I understand. And Bangladesh government never accused ZARA.
No.
No, never
No,
accused.
no.
Why no accused? Because
Why not? Because
they're happy. Okay, why don't you come another 1,000
more
job
factories,
for us?
yeah.
Or 2,000 job for us, and they 10,000 job for us.
but they
but
also
but,
realize.
but they're going to tell them, I'm sorry. Bangladesh government tell them, I'm sorry. We allow them to using the factory as a kind of terrible condition, right? So she's going to build new building. So why don't you come 10,000? ZARA will come. This is what Bangladesh government is thinking about. This is our fault. Okay, we need a job.
Yeah, they need a job, exactly, and they know that they cannot compete unless they pay the lowest salary. So they can only bring employment to Bangladesh if they allow.
You can ask Kimoto. He's getting boring.
No, I'm listening.
Ask him also. Takahashi understand because
I think the key issue here, really, because we cannot blame, we cannot put the responsibility on the government of Bangladesh. Companies are companies, and they are there to generate income. I think the only way, if companies are being rewarded for good
do you know the
social
Bangladesh,
behavior.
Do you know Bangladesh they have heavy corrupted. Who are corrupted? Not prime minister, not the minister. More lower level people corrupted. I give money, they receive money. No improvement for the GDP, no improvement of condition work level, minimum wages. They get money from between them. It's terrible. So this is they need to corruption is corruption. South America, every place corruption, but this is eliminate corruption. Otherwise, no growth. Right? Do you understand? No growth.
But again, I think that it starts with the consumer, not with the government of Bangladesh, not with corporations. Basically, it's up to us to make a change.
But I tell you, how come do they know the consumer and the local people and Bangladesh people, local people situation, level of life? No, nobody understands who are they.
Well, so basically, now we have the means to basically figure that out. We have blockchain technology. We can make brands. We have social media. We have YouTube. We can show these kinds of videos. This information is accessible. We just don't want to see it because we want to have cheap fashion.
I tell you, it's impossible.
Makes us feel better.
I'm studying every day, and globally, country by country, and what's happening for those countries. But this kind of YouTube and sort of video, nobody watch it.
But
this is almost impossible.
Sure, but if we can create a movement, and say, okay, well, and very simple. We use in every. Why don't we put every T-shirt that's made in Bangladesh, we put a QR code, and basically we can just we make sure that everybody in the supply chain is included in the QR code. So if there are problems, you can basically see, okay, have these people
Country by country. Like for example, Bahama. Now I'm writing Bahama.
right.
And Bahama's president, very good person, but Bahama, Honduras, Nicaragua, terrible.
Terrible, yeah.
But you can recognize which one is good or bad, right?
Right.
So very difficult to understand which one is good or bad. So it's without studying in detail about country by country, you cannot understand.
Right, but okay, Nicaragua is also a country that has been heavily manipulated by.
Terrible.
By
I'm going
the
to.
US,
Terrible.
英語大丈夫ですか?
Yeah,
A little bit. Okay. So today we're talking about the donut economy. So what is a donut economy? Basically, the donut economy is an economic system that doesn't only look at money. It also looks at the environment, and it looks at human rights. It's a economic system that is trying to include more elements into our real life, because today economic theory is aimed at maximizing profits, growth, always economic growth, but we are not quantifying the effects on the environment, global warming, We are not quantifying the effects on income inequality between the people in Japan, United States, Europe, and the people in Bangladesh, and in Pakistan, and in Africa. So these things we do not include into our economy. So the donut economy is aimed at including that into the same system. Okay. A little bit. Okay. So to make it even more difficult, so we're looking at a video which is from VPRO Television, which is a Dutch television channel. I'm from the Netherlands, so whenever there is a bit of Dutch in there, I will do instant translation in English. Okay.